was dreaming about being a musician, my goal was to go as deep as Nick Drake did, but live. That's the trick. So for the last song, let me play you this, because this is a kind of a sort of how to sustain the creativity. How to go as deep as Nick and live. And this is about, well, inspired by when I went to hear a friend play at a tough room. She was playing in a pizza restaurant. I mean, there was a stage and there was a sound system, but everyone was talking and eating and the clanking of the silverware, and it was not this. This is nice. So she came and sat at our table during the break, and I said, "That was great, that was really good." And she's, "That was great, come on, really. I would have loved to hear more of your songs." And she said, "What, here?" I said, "Yeah, here, why not?" "Dave, it's a pizza restaurant. Come on." "Well, you know, it's a state of mind." "What?" "It's a state of mind." "No, it's actually a pizza restaurant." "Look, they just call someone's name because their pizza's ready. And what, I'm supposed to open my soul in the middle of all this?" I said, okay. "So what's the place where your heart feels most at home, where you can really sing?" And she said, "Well, I mean, I hiked into a hot spring once in the middle of winter. That was the place I could really sing." I said, "Why is that?" She said, "Well, just imagine it. I mean, it's snow all around. It's winter all around. And yet, I'm standing in this pool, clothed only in warm water, perfectly warm, perfectly safe, with snow and winter all around. I just feel sustained, you know, and protected. And this warmth is coming from deep, deep in the earth. And the steam is swirling up, rising to heaven." That was my voice, coming from deep, rising up to heaven. That was the way I was singing. That was how easy it was and how sort of welcoming it was. And I said, "Well, yeah, that's a state of mind." She said, "No, that's a hot spring." I said, "Yeah, but you could have been standing in the same hot spring and said to yourself, it's all wasted, what difference does it make? Look, it just trickles down the hill, goes into the creek. I mean, a mile from here, the creek's probably covered with ice again. Nobody knows, it doesn't make any difference." And she said, "You'd never say that about a hot spring." I said, "Why not?" She said, "Well, because you're in it." I said, "Yeah." And every song, before it's a song, it's that thing that cracks you open. It's that thing that rises up. You know, it's that unstoppable sustenance of that creative thing that happens, and it's coming from deep, and it's... She said, "Yeah, but how could you get to that here?" I said, "Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? I mean, our job as musicians at first appears to be, you know, playing an instrument or making some sound. But the real instrument is tuning not the guitar, but the attitude. The real job of a musician is to, in the time it takes to get from your ordinary state of mind up to where you have to have that flow, you got to find your way into that source. You got to get there. You got to hike in through the snow. You got to remember where it is. That's the job. So for her sake, for our sake, because we all offer something to the world. We all say to the world, "Here, I made this," you know. And we have to remember, sometimes it's worth it just to do it, no matter what happens. So, if you're hiking in, you'll hear her singing down the mountain, and the way she sings The current flows from earth to sky, and for all she is seen, the fire inside will form the fountain and crack solid rock until you cry. When her throat gets tight, through broken stone her words are pouring. She can sing all night. The mercy down the rock will flow when the wrong meets right. The steam of rising hope is soaring. She sings like a hot spring in the snow. When she sings low, the surface of her skin is steaming. Love out of nowhere, heated deep below. When she sings high, she cries out every deeper meaning. The words the world may never know. There's no one there to see the show. She bears her soul and lets it go. Sing like a hot spring in the snow. In her voice you hear her lips release that steam she's breathing, and her words are clear. They're driven up from pressure strong with a rising tear. Forgiveness meets that anger seething, and passion pours from every song. When she sings low, the surface of her skin is steaming. Love out of nowhere, heated deep below. When she sings high, she cries out every deeper meaning. The words the world may never know. There's no one there to see the show. She bears her soul and lets it go. Sing like a hot spring in the snow. Through the wispy view, her startling beauty's reappearing with a graceful tune. She calls you through the sacred mist when she knows it's you. The swirling breeze reveals a clearing until you feel like you've been kissed. When she sings low, the surface of her skin is steaming. Love out of nowhere, heated deep below. When she sings high, she cries out every deeper meaning. The words the world may never know. When she sings high, she cries out every deeper meaning. The words the world may never know. There's no one there to see the show. She bears her soul and lets it go. Sing like a hot spring in the snow. Sing like a hot spring in the snow.